A good day to you. Today I'm doing a beautiful Laura Hayne quilt for one of our customers. In fact, this is Laura's quilt. It's very beautiful. It's a doggy. Of course, you cannot see the doggy there. I've done several of these Laura Hayne quilts and they are really awesome to do. And this video specifically is for quilters who have long arm machines, because where there's a lot of layers of fabric, I believe most people use the steamer seam underneath, and most people will think, okay, it doesn't leave a residue, but it actually does gum up the needle. So this is some advice that'll help you on your long arm machine if you build up residue or gum on your needles. The first one I ever did like this, except I think it was a flamingo if I remember correctly, and not knowing this little technique, I ended up throwing away 5 needles. So I found a little way that works now. You'll see I've just finished a row and I'm zooming in here on the needle. There you'll see some of the needle gumming up over there. So I will take obviously the gum off at the end of the stitch out, and in the groove in the front just make sure there's no gum build up there. And here's an example of some of the pieces of gum that I've removed from the needle. If you leave that in there, of course it's just going to break your thread. You'll end up having a lot of thread breakages. So what I do is, firstly at the beginning of the row I will take a little bit of oil, and this oil, by the way, that's Handy Quilter sells, is washable. It does wash out of quilts. So if you're going to have a regular quilt that you're going to wash, don't worry, it'll come out. And so the advice I have for you, if you have like a wall hanging like this, is when you get to this point here, you're going to start your machine. Let me show you the beginning. There's the beginning. I get it started and it stitches out, and when it comes to here I'll press pause, and then I'll get my oil, put a drop of that on my finger, and then I will rub the needle up and down with a little bit of oil. It's very little, so it's not going to even show on here. It's just to stop that gum from clinging to your needle. So by the time the long arm machine starts stitching around this area, you're going to find that when you get to this side, your thread will not have broken. But of course, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, when you get to the end of this stitch out on the edge of the row, you want to take those pieces of gum or glue that build up in the needle, and you want to actually pull them off. And then I actually end up lubricating my needle before I start stitching at the beginning of the panto, and just before I come to the build up of fabric where there's steamer seam underneath. That's when I pause the machine. So I'll pause the machine over there and rub the needle with oil again, and then by the time it gets to here you won't have any thread breakage. So it's real handy. Good old faithful oil. Enjoy.